Hi, my name is Austin, and today I want to talk about heading levels. Heading levels are what screen reader users use to figure out where they are in the web page or document. A lot of people are not aware, but there are built-in tools into Microsoft, Google Docs, and most web editors as well to put in heading levels so that a screen reader user knows where they are in the document and where the next heading is. You can think of headings sort of like bookmarks. If you see over here, here is my book that I have, and there's a bookmark here, so I can just jump to this section if I wanted to read the content. That is very similar to how a screen reader user interacts with content. What they're doing is they're getting a name for what this bookmark is. Maybe this is, chapter 6, Everybody Helps, and it has something there. And then if I wanted to jump to a different heading, it would tell me what's over there. And there's multiple heading levels. So you can have somewhere around 1 to 6 heading levels in your document. I would say, shooting for around 4 to 5 is pretty optimal. And, each heading level is getting smaller. So you're having it be, going further granular into whatever specific topic you're looking to focus on. There are also specific heading level guidelines from the APA or MLA formats, if you've ever used those for essay writing. They are similar, but in this case, we're focusing in on the accessibility component of the heading levels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo how you can make heading levels in Microsoft Word, in Google Docs, and then I'm going to go over with a screen reader and I'm going to show you how you can actually interact with those heading levels. So now we are in Microsoft Word, and I first want to just point out that the heading level panel is on the top right over here. You have your different heading levels. If you don't see additional levels, like if you don't see 3 or 4 or you're missing some heading levels, you can click on the Style Panes button, and then what you can actually do is you'll want to click where it says All Styles, and then you'll see all the heading levels up to 9 over here. And if you ever needed to use one that's like 6 or 5, you'd be able to get there. So now in my document, I'm going to start making the heading levels. So what I'm going to actually do is click on this here, and I'm just going to make, maybe a bigger font. We'll use like 24, and I'll just say why, dogs, mixed breed dogs rock. And what I can then do is I'll have like, introductory paragraph. Actually, I want to make this black as well. And we can then go over here, and maybe I'll make this underlined, and I can say introduction, and then I can maybe, write a paragraph about why I prefer, dogs that are mutts and why they're the best or whatever. So I pulled this from the internet and I just pasted it in. Now what I could do as I'm creating this document is start with this title. Now I know it's a title, but the screen reader does not know it's a title. The way to have it recognized as a title is by choosing heading level 1. I recommend choosing heading level 1 over the title option. It's just easier, but that can also work. But for most people, I think they'll tell you heading level 1 is the way to go. So if you control click or right click if you're on a PC, you can choose update heading to match selection, and now this is now known as a heading level 1. Now this next one, there should only be one heading level 1 in your document, so this next one should be heading level 2. So I'm going to go to heading level 2, I'm going to right click or control click, and I'm going to choose heading level 2, and now we have that one set up. And now let's say I'm writing my document, I have a paragraph that I want to do as another example or something. Let's say I make it in italics, and I put this paragraph in, and then as we're doing that, this could be, a heading level 3, let's say. So if I go over here, I could control click and choose update to heading level 3, and now we have a heading level 3, And then later, if I have another paragraph on, let's say golden retrievers or something, I could then go in and I could make this underlined, and then I could also just click on the heading level 2. In fact, just to demo this, if I just had written golden retrievers and I click on heading level 2, it will add the styling for me because it's copying exactly what I did, which is nice. So if I came to a golden retriever and I wanted to, add in another example section here, I could just type in example, I could highlight it and then choose heading level 3, and the example is made for me, and I can just tab it over and there it is. So now we have this document with these different headings, and that is one way of being able to access it. Now it's important to remember that for screen reader users who are relying on these headings, I'm going to show you how they use it. But when you go to your Save As, you can also save this as a PDF. And if you are making a PDF, you should know most PDFs are not accessible unless you take the time to add in heading levels and alt text and other things like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this as a PDF, but I'm going to save it for the best electronic distribution and accessibility, so it maintains the accessibility features like heading levels that I've added in. And then I'm going to click the export button, and that's going to save it. Now, what's important to keep in mind here is you could do the same type of thing with Google Docs. And if I wanted to do this with Google Docs, it's very similar. What I would end up doing is using the heading level again for the top. And the way this works is, for example, if I had like best dogs or something like that as a title, so I'm a dog person, I'm going to go to heading level 1 and I'm going to choose update heading level 1 to match on the side there. And then as I'm writing, I could do, introduction. Maybe I make this, underlined. And I could go here and choose heading level 2, and it'll update to heading level 2. And it's very similar to how we're doing it in Microsoft Word. The big difference that you're probably noticing here, as I make the heading level 3 example, you'll really start to see it, is in here we get a nice display of the heading levels on the left side. And if you click on any of them, it will take you to that part of your document. So for example, if I put the example section on another page and I go to best dogs, it takes me to the top of the document. That's the title. Click on example, jumps down to the second page where I tapped it over. So that can be really useful if you have a big document. You can use this left side to kind of navigate and find key sections for yourself, but this is also used for screen reader users. And again, you could click download PDF, download Word document, and that should work as well. We'll be able to demo that in a moment. It looks like what's going on with the heading levels with the Google Doc where I exported as a PDF, it seems like the headings did not transfer. I think that in order to transfer the heading levels, you would need to use an accessibility add-on for your Google Docs like Grackle. Grackle is a way to check the accessibility of a Google Doc and also to export a Google Doc as an accessible PDF. So now I have pulled up the Microsoft Word document that we converted to a PDF, and I'm going to demo how the heading levels work with the screen reading software VoiceOver, which is standard on all Macs. So I'm going to show you how you can navigate a document with VoiceOver.
PDF, one page, window, heading level 1, mixed breed dogs rock, space with preview containing window, mixed breed dogs rock.pdf, one page, full screen space. You are currently on heading level 1, inside of a page. This item has no help tag. VoiceOver help menu 5 items. Heading level 1 by Mixed Breed Dogs Rock. Heading level 2 introduction. You are currently on heading level 2 inside of a page. Heading level 2 introduction. You are currently on heading level 3 example. You are heading level 3 example. Heading level 2 golden retrievers. You are heading level 2 golden retrievers. Heading level 3 example. You are currently on heading level 3 inside of a page. Heading level 2 golden retrievers. Heading level 2 heading level 3 example. Heading level 3 example. Heading level 2 introduction. Heading level 1 by Mixed Breed Dogs Rock. You are currently on heading level 1 inside of a page. Heading menu.
You can also see the heading levels when I hit Control-Alt-U in VoiceOver on Mac. You can see the different heading levels display as well. All the headings are listed. One last thing I want to mention before ending the demo is the importance of using unique heading level names. You don't want to have the same name because that can be confusing, so having unique names as you do the heading levels is important to keep in mind as well. I hope that you found this helpful. Please consider clicking the link in the description and you can find information about my Discord and post questions for future videos, as well as interact with me and share your experiences. I am also including a survey, which I'd really appreciate if you have the time to complete. Thank you again for watching.